ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಆಯ್ತು, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲನೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, ತೋರ್ಸಿದ್ ಸರಿ, ಬಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲನೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು.
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ನಾನು 5th one ತೋರಿಸಿಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ದು ಇನ್ನೂ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಯಾವ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತ.
ಗೂಗಲ್ ಶೀಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೀನಿ ನೋಡಪ್ಪ,
ನಾಟ್ ಇಂಟಿಮೇಟೆಡ್.
ನಿಮಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಲ್ಲ
ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ CD ಸೀರೀಸ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ.
ಹೌದೌದು, ಸರಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. People who have not shown fast, show the programs so that I can take your Viva marks. ತೋರ್ಸಪ್ಪ. Yes,
data all inserted.
Okay. Okay.
Queries, ma'am.
Okay.
That's it, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, next who want to show? The people who have not shown, you can start showing, and later I will start explanation, presentation of each one. ಯಾರು ತೋರ್ಸ್ಬೇಕಂತೀರಾ ತೋರ್ಸಿ, ಯಾರು ಮುಗಿಸಿಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ 5 programs ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ತೋರ್ಸೋದು. ತೋರ್ಸಪ್ಪ.
Ma'am, is it visible?
Rashmi, which program you are showing?
4th ವರ್ಗೂ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಫುಲ್. ಓದ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ 5th one ತೋರಿಸಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ.
ಹೌದು, 5th one ತೋರಿಸಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ,
this is 5th one.
ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ?
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಕ್ವೈರೀಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಜರ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಗಿದೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಓಕೆ,
ಎಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಓಕೆ,
ಎಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ Ravi. Yeah, who want to show? Who is ready can show the programs. 5 programs.
Ma'am, I showed all the programs, ma'am. 5 programs.
Okay, yeah, I have marked. People who have showed, I have marked. Yes, yeah, others.
Ma'am, Savita.
ತೋರ್ಸಮ್ಮ, ಏನ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೀಯಾ? ಯಾವ ತೋರಿಸಿಲ್ಲ ಸವಿತಾ? 5th one. ಹೌದು, 5th one ತೋರಿಸ್ಬೇಕು. ಶ್ರುತಿ, ತೋರಿಸಿಲ್ಲಮ್ಮ ನೀನ್ ಕೂಡ.
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ನಂದು ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ಅದು ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವೀಕ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ಲಾ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್?
ಟೈಮ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆಯಮ್ಮ? ಆಯ್ತು ಸವಿತಾ, ತೋರ್ಸಮ್ಮ. ಯಾವ್ದಮ್ಮ ಇದು? 5th one ಅಲ್ವಾ?
5th one ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ತೋರ್ಸಿ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಂತ? ಆಯ್ತು.
ಓಕೆ,
ಮಿಕ್ಕಿರೋರು ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂತ ಬರ್ಬೇಕಾ? ನೀವ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ತೋರ್ಸಿಲ್ಲ ಯಾವ್ದು ತೋರ್ಸಿರ ಅಂತ ನಿಮಗೆ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ತಾನೆ? ಆಸ್ತಾ, ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ. her marks will be 0. Abhinav. Aishwarya.
Ma'am, I'll show network issue, ma'am. At last I'll show, ma'am.
Arbaz. Benita. Bhargavi is here.
Ma'am, 1 minute, ma'am, I will show. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you have to show.
5 minutes, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am, 5 minutes, ma'am.
Premalai. Gangubai. Harshit. Kishore. If you are not answering, I'll mark absent. Your assignment marks will be 0. Manisha. Yeah, Kishore.
Yeah. Hello, ma'am.
Yes, Kishore, you have not showed programs only.
Yeah, ma'am.
Then when will you show? 5 execution show you have to show.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Manisha. Manisha is here. Nayana. Nayana. Neelanjan.
Yes, ma'am.
You have to show no sir program execution.
Ma'am, actually in my laptop, my ma'am 10 and 11G support, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm doing it on online compiler. So, ma'am, that's why some of the queries are not working.
Sir, you don't give me so much reason, sir. It's already end of the semester and extension is also done. You have not even showed one program, sir. Huh? How will I give assignment marks, sir? You just say to me, how will I give the assignment marks for the lab? It's left to you, then I have to mark 0. Nishant,
Ma'am,
one program you have not shown, sir.
ma'am, first program I have to show. I will show
Ah.
later, ma'am.
Yeah,
Now
you have.
I am inserting.
Priyanka,
Yes, ma'am.
you have not shown 4th program, right?
Yes, ma'am. I'll show later.
Pavan? Pavan?
5 minutes, ma'am.
Ravi? Ravi, something you have posted. You have
I'll show, ma'am.
to show one program, right? Ravi, first program you have to show. Yeah, first one you have not shown.
Fourth one.
Shruti? Shruti? You have not, you have to show, madam.
Ma'am. Ma'am. Yeah, ma'am. I'll show, ma'am, next week.
Srinidhi? Srinidhi?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I want to show fourth one.
Yeah, you
I will
have to
show, ma'am.
fourth one.
I will show.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I will show in 5 minutes.
Sunil? 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 Vinny?
Yes,
You have to show 2 programs.
Yeah, ma'am. I'll show. My brother is having the laptop.
Yeah. Yeah, people who are ready can show. Now I have explained who I have to show. Yes, show fast bar. Anybody can please share. I'm waiting here. Who is ready can show the execution.
Ma'am, shall I explain, ma'am?
Yes, Bhargavi.
Ma'am, Bhavisha. Explanation, ma'am.
Yeah, Bhavisha. Yes, Bhavisha.
Is it visible, ma'am?
Yeah.
Ma'am, for me, it's a first program.
Hmm.
First program, the question is to create the following tables with proper and primary keys, foreign keys, and sort keys. So the tables are branch, student, author, borrow. Branch table, we have primary key as branch ID and branch name and HOD are other attributes. In student, USN is the primary key and name, address, and branch ID is a foreign key from branch table. And SEM is another attribute. Next is book table. So in that book ID is the primary key and book name, author ID, publisher. They are other attributes and branch ID is again foreign key from a branch table. And author is another table. We have a primary key as author ID, author name, country, age, other attributes. And borrow table in that USN is the primary key. Book ID is a foreign key from book table, and borrow date is another attribute. So we have creating table here with the branch ID, the primary key. So it should be not null, and in branch name and HOD are other attributes. So create table, branch is the table name, branch ID, varchar is a data type with the size of 10, and primary key we have to mention like this. So branch name with the data type varchar size of 15, HOD varchar is the data type, and 10 is the size of the HOD attribute. ESC branch will show the structure of the table like that. Create table, student table will contain USN as primary key and name, address are the other attributes, and SEM also. Branch ID is the foreign key, so we have to mention like branch ID, uh, data type of size 10, references, branch ID. So references, this will indicate foreign key of table branch. We have to mention branch ID. So branch ID is the primary key of branch table. Next, structure of student table. Then next, author table. In that, author ID is the primary key, and author name, country, other, and age are the other attributes. The structure of the table. In this table, author ID is primary key, so it should be not null. Next, in book table, book ID is the primary key. Book name, author ID is foreign key, so references from the table author. In that table, author ID is the primary key. And here, branch ID also a foreign key, so we have to give like this: branch ID varchar references from branch table, and in that branch ID is the primary key. This is the structure of book table. In borrow table, USN and book ID both are foreign key, so we have to give like this: references from student table, and in that USN is the primary key. In book ID is referenced from book table, and borrow date is another attribute. So this is the structure of the table. Next, inserting values into the tables. First, we have to insert into branch values and the attributes we have to mention, and select star from branch table. We will get the values of that branch table which we have entered, and insert into student table, student values, USN, name, address, and SEM, and branch ID. The branch ID should be as same as branch table values. In branch table, what we have given like branch ID, same thing we have to give there also. And next is other table. In other table, author ID should be primary key, and author name, country, and age. And values of author table we can get through select star from author. And next, we have to give values in book table, book ID, book name, author ID should be same as the values which we given author table and branch ID also. Mm, borrow table in that insert into borrow the values which we have given is you can display to select star from borrow. Next the queries list. First query is list the details of students who are all studying in second sem MCA. So the query is like we have to display the values of details, and the information should contain USN, name, address, SEM, and branch name. That information we'll get from the table student. So we have to go like select s.usn, s.name, s.address, s.sem, b dot branch name from student and branch table. This information
ನಾನು
we are
ಕೊಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ
getting
ಕ್ಲಾಸ್
from
ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ.
student table.
Bhargavi,
ಅಕ್ಕ
1 second, Bhavisha. Bhargavi,
ಡ್ಯಾಡಿ ಫೋನ್
Bhargavi, yes, Bhavisha.
Okay. So to get that values, we have to give the condition like after where s dot branch id should be equal to b dot branch id. That is the student branch id which is having in the student table should be equal to branch id which is having in the branch table. And that is one condition. And next condition is b dot branch name equal to mca. So the branch name should be MCA in the table branch. And one more condition is S dot SEM is equal to 2. The student table, we have a SEM attribute that should be equal to 2. So we'll get the answer as USN, name, address, SEM, branch name of student who is studying in MCA department and in second SEM. Next, the next query is to list the students who are not borrowed any book. So we need to display the informations of student, that is USN and name. So select USN and name from student table. The condition is USN in, select USN from students. So we have to select all the USN from the students. From that we have to borrow the details which are not borrowed any books. So we have to minus that values. Select distinct USN from borrow. Distinct will remove the duplicate values. So we have to like select USN from student minus select distinct USN from borrow. So we'll get these two values USN name of two students. Next, third query is display the USN student name, branch name, book name, author name, books, borrow date of second sem MCA student who borrowed books. So select distinct that to remove duplicate values, and we need information like USN student name, branch name, book name, author name, books, borrow date. These are in different tables like student, branch, borrow. So we have to give like s dot usn, s dot name. These both values are taken from student table, and branch name is taken from branch table. Book name is taken from book table, and author name is taken from author table, and borrowed date is taken from borrow table. And we have mentioned the table names here, and the condition is where s dot usn equal to bo dot usn, like usn in student table should be equal to usn in borrow table. And another condition is s dot branch id equal to br dot branch id, that is a branch id in student table should be equal to branch id in branch table. And one more condition is s dot sem is equal to 2 and br dot branch name equal to MCA. So we'll get the information of students like this: USN, name, branch name, and book name, author name, borrowed date of this many students. And next query is display the number of books written by each author. So we have to select from author table. So select a dot author ID, and we are counting the author books written by each author. So count b dot book id from book table and author a, where the condition is b dot author id equal to a dot author id. That is, the author id in book table should be equal to author id in author table, and we are grouping that to, based on author id. So we will get the values as like this: author ID and count of b dot book ID. So it will display this is the author ID and this is the number of books which are written by these authors. Like A1 is written one book and A3 is written one book and A4 is written three book, like that. And next query is display the student details who borrowed more than two books. So we have to give like we need information USN and count of re- more, student who borrowed more than two books. So select s.usn and count. We have to get the number. So count bo dot book ID from student S borrow bo book bk, and the condition is s dot usn equal to bo dot usn. That is, usn in student table should be equal to usn in borrow table, and borrow dot book id equal to bk dot book id. Book id in borrow table should be equal to book id in book table, and we are grouping into s dot usn having count of book id greater than 2, which are all having more than 2 that we should display. So we'll get the value as s01 and number of books is 5. Next query is to display the student details who borrowed books of more than one author. Okay. So select, we need the information USN and count. That's all. So select s dot USN and count of author a dot author ID from student table and borrow table and book table and author table. So the condition is s dot USN should be equal to bo dot USN, and bk dot book id equal to bo dot book id. Book id should be equal in both the tables like book and borrow. And one more condition is author id should be equal to a dot author id should be equal to bk dot author id. That is, author id in author table and author id in book table should be equal, and we are grouping into one table, that is s.usn having count of author id greater than 1. Author id should be greater than 1 in author table. So usn and count will be displayed. That is, we have two values here: s of s01 5 books and s03 2. Next, no, sorry, ma'am, it's not book. This is a student details. So number of students it is. And next query is display the book names in descending order of their names. We have given already book names. So select star from book and order by book name in descending order. So we are giving D A S C, and it's displaying the book details like book ID, book name, author ID, and publisher and branch ID. You get these values. Okay, these are the book names and author ID, and publisher, branch ID. And next, a query is list the details of students who borrowed the books which are all published by the same publisher. We need to get the values USN, name, book name, and publisher. So we have to give select s dot USN, s dot name, b dot book name, b dot publisher from student table S and book table B, borrow table BO. And the condition is where s dot USN should be BO dot USN. USN in student table should be equal to USN in borrow table. And next condition is book ID in book in book table should be equal to book ID in borrow table. The next condition is b dot publisher, and we have to give any publisher value. So TPP is the given publisher value. I am just displaying the value who is the student who borrowed the books, which is published by this TPP publisher. And ma'am, should I just explain this also?
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes. Good. Huh.
This is the schema diagram of this program. So we have one branch ID, student table, book table, author table, and borrow table. So in branch ID, we have branch ID as in branch table, we have branch ID as primary key. So we have also used this branch ID in other tables like student, and one more is book. So these
Why the arrow marks? Why arrow marks?
ma'am, we have taken these values from branch table.
Okay, good.
So we have like this, we have drawn, and next USN. In student table, USN is the primary key that we have used again in borrow table. So this value is we have taken from student table, and we are drawn like this, ma'am. And in book ID, we are using book ID in borrow table also. So like this, and author ID from author table we are taking. And next borrow. Okay, fine. In that next VR diagram. VR diagram. This is the branch is the entity, which is the table name. So that table has attributes branch ID, branch name, HOD, and it has one to many relation to with student table. And student entity has USN, name, address, and SEM as attribute. And we have student table has a relationship with book table, that is borrow, and borrow date is mentioned in that relationship. And book table has publisher, book ID, author name, author ID as attributes, and book and author table is related. So we have author table has the attributes author ID, author name, country, and age. Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, good. Good, Bhavisha. Very good.
Shall I stop sharing, ma'am?
Yeah. Yes, next person.
Ma'am, Chaitra.
Yes, Chaitra.
Chaitra, can I share?
Yeah, Chaitra.
Ma'am, it's visible?
Yeah. Yes, Chaitra. It's visible. Chaitra, open. You have shared, but the presentation is not visible. Yeah, now it is visible.
Okay.
Yes, Chaitra, now it is visible. You carry on.
Ma'am, it's visible?
Yes, Chaitra, it is visible. It is visible.
Based on the cricket tournament, yeah, tables are 6 tables. One is player and team, match, stadium, and one more is played for. First, we want to create the table. So we use create table player ID that is to and player name the type is varchar to size and age varchar to size and phone number or that data type with size 10. This describes the player. Next table is team. So create team ID. Data type is varchar with size 10. Primary key name means data type. Next city varchar 2. Data type is with size 10. The data type to 15. Captain with data type is varchar to 10. That is referring from the player table. That is player ID. Next match table. We create a table matched varchar to data type is with size 10. That is primary key. Result varchar is referring to the table that is in my
ಚೈತ್ರ ನಿನ್ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ
man of the match.
ಚೈತ್ರ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಮ್ಮ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ
ಹಲೋ ಈಗ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ
ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ
ಹಲೋ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿದೆ
ಹೇಳಮ್ಮ
ಓಕೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ table player ID. Next table is type varchar to 10 primary key. Stadium name varchar to 10. City varchar to 10. Area data type is size is 10. For people data type is number, that is size is 10 we are give. Next for place matched varchar to 10. We are referring match from the match date. Next team data type varchar from team ID. Team ID 2 we are that is data type is for varchar 2 referring from the table team, that is team ID, that means primary key. Next stadium ID varchar data type is varchar 2 and size is 10, that is referring from the stadium ID, that is stadium ID we are referring from the stadium table. Next match data types data type is varchar 2 with size 10, varchar 2 with size 10. Player data type is 10. Next data type is varchar 10. Next we are creating the tables here in the value. Insert into values. We are attributes are player's ID, player name, age, and phone number. Here we give to select start from player. That means we can see the values. Next, insert into team values. Attributes are team ID, team name, city, coach, and captain. We are giving next match. Insert into match values, matches, result, and man of the match. We are giving the values. Next, insert into stadium values, stadium ID, stadium name, city code, or the attributes of the stadium. To see the values, we are giving the select start from stadium. Next, place, insert into place values, matched, team ID 1, team ID 2, stadium ID, match date, time, or the attributes of the place. Next, played for, insert into played for values, player ID, team ID, or the attributes of the player played for. Your next first query is display the youngest player name, team name, age in which he is belongs of the tournament. Here, select P. It is the alias name, that means short form of the player P dot player name. Next T dot team name. Next P dot age. We are referring age and player name from the player table. Next team name from the team. The player ID player table is equal to the player ID of the played for table, playoff table, and team ID of team table should be equal to the player of team ID, and then player age in select minimum should be minimum of team player age from the player table. So we will get player name, team name, and age. That means here the given input is 32, age is 32, that means Rahul. We will get the output, that is minimum age. Next query is list the details of the stadium where the maximum number of the matches were played. So select S dot stadium ID. We want to count the match. So count M dot match from players play stadium S match M, where player match ID should be equal to the stadium ID, and player match equal to the match ID by stadium ID having count of match equal to select max. That means maximum count. We should count the match M dot match from the players play and group by the stadium ID. We will get stadium ID and count how many matches are played in the stadium. We will get this. Next query is list the details of the player who is not a captain but got a man of the match award at least 2 matches. So select player ID, player name. We are selecting from the player table. Next player ID in select T dot player ID from player 4. We are minusing from minus select T dot captain from team T player P. Next inserting select M dot man of the match from match M group by M dot man of the match having count. We are counting a match which is greater than or equal to 2. So we will get Virat, that is who is not the captain, but he got the man of the match at least 2 times. Next, display the team details who won the maximum match. Select M result count M dot match from match table team next team table where team ID is equal to the result from the match table group by match result having count M dot match is equal to the select max count M match from match equal to match M by M. We will get this result and count how many teams are played maximum. We will get next is display the team name where all its one match play in the same stadium. So we will get select M dot match M dot result P dot stadium name stadium ID T dot city S dot city from match players team T and stadium where match is equal to the player match stadium ID is equal to the player stadium ID, and one more is match result is equal to the team ID, and stadium city is equal to the team city. So we will get this query. For update, we will use this syntax, that is update stadium set city, name of the city, this is Mumbai, where stadium ID is equal to SON. Next, ER diagram. Here player, team, match, stadium, play or the tables. So for player, we have phone number, PID, age, name. That is PID is the primary key. Next, team, name, city, coach, TID, that is team ID. We have attributes. Next is match. For match ID is the primary key. Next for stadium ID, stadium name, pin code, city and area. Your stadium ID is the primary key. Next for place, gate, winner. Here are the attributes, and these are the relation 1 to 1, 1 to many, like that. Next, schema diagram. Here the tables are team, player, stadium, match and player phone. Team, their team ID, team name, coach, captain ID, city. Team ID is the primary key. That is, this arrow mark referring from. Team ID is referring for match table, like that. Next, PI for player table, PID, P name, age, TID. Captain, PID is captain is referring, PID is referring for captain. Next, stadium ID, stadium name, pin code, city, age, area. Here, stadium ID is the primary key. Match ID, match date, time, SID, team ID 1, team ID 2, winning team ID, man of the match. Here, match ID is the primary key. SID is referring from the stadium. Next, man of the match is referring from the player ID. Next, team 1 ID and team 2 ID. Winning team ID is referring from the team table, that is team ID. Next is player, phone, PID and phone. The PID is the primary key, that is referring from the table team ID. Hello.
Yes, Chaitra. Yes, fine. Good.
Yes, ma'am. Done, ma'am.
Yeah, I am seeing. Yeah, we'll stop now. Yeah, you can stop sharing the screen, Chaitra. I have noted also. Yeah, I have noted. We'll take break and come back after the break. People who want to show everything, you